Apparently, we got the identification of more actors who don't want to be T'Challa in the MCU. All right, so I'm gonna name them, and you let me know what you think. So, number one, contestant number one, all right, actor number one, John Boyega reportedly turned down the role of T'Challa. How we feel about that? How do you feel about that? How do you feel? Was John Boyega your number one choice? I love John Boyega. He's a brilliant actor. All right. My opinion, the way I look at it, all right, I didn't like his character in The Woman King. I did not like how his character was portrayed. I guess his character's supposed to be like that. I'm not a fan of that character in The Woman King, and after seeing that, like for me, I had John Boyega as one of the actors I wanted to play T'Challa, but after seeing The Woman King, and I'm like because I'm thinking it's like if he played T'Challa, would he be a king like that in The Woman King? That's not what I would want. And the thing about it, to be honest with you, like since in the MCU, a lot of the Phase 4 stuff is kind of MCU ish. It seems like that's how they probably would have had him portray the role. They probably would have had him portray the role of King T'Challa as like how he was in The Woman King, where really, actually, he wasn't the real king. It was more the women running things, and I got no problem with that. But he's supposed to be a king. Let him be a king. All right, so I'm not a big fan of that though. But anyways, the next person we have is Damson Idris. Damson Idris. I'm gonna tell you something. I never watched the show, like a full episode of Snowfall, but I feel like I've watched multiple seasons of it because on TikTok I get so many clips of it, and I'm like, that brother can act. That dude can act. I could see him being T'Challa. I can't remember if he was in my top 5, but at least top 10. But with him, it said he reportedly turned down the role. Don't know why, don't know when the timing. A lot of times it's all about the timing, people. Okay? But man, I think he could have been a good T'Challa. But if he turned it down, that means he didn't feel like he was either worthy or was good enough to do what he needed to do. All right? And the next one is I like this guy here. David Oyelowo. He was in Selma. Yeah, real good actor, man. I really liked him in Red Tails. You ever seen Red Tails? David was phenomenal, man. I loved him in there, man. And it's like I could see him being T'Challa. Seems like he's more on the short side to be T'Challa, but hey, you know what? They can get around that stuff, all right? But these are three brilliant actors, and I mean, I don't know their reasons for turning the role down. I don't know why they would turn that role down, reportedly. But hey, if your heart's not in it, your heart's not in it. Okay? If you don't feel like you can do it, okay. There are plenty more actors, more black actors who are capable of doing it. All right. And also, um, yeah, it was those three actors. Now, me, I have a theory that I also believe that Yahya Abdul Mateen II, I think he turned the role down. I think he turned the role down and decided to go as Wonder Man. I believe that. I believe that, man. Because I refuse to believe the Marvel, they went up to him and they said, hey, man, yeah, your first option, we're going to have you play Wonder Man. Nah. And it's going to be a show. Nah. No, I'm not buying that. That brother did a brilliant job as Black Manta. That brother did a brilliant job as was it Dr. Manhattan in the Watchmen series? Oh man. Man, dude was brilliant, bro. Sis, whoever's out there, he was brilliant. That dude could play T'Challa. And I want to say something. Any actors out there thinking that, listen, you can't play the role of T'Challa because you don't think you could fill Chadwick Boseman's shoes, or you're concerned about filling his shoes. Let me tell you something. You don't have to worry about filling his shoes. You can't fill his shoes. You know why? Because God said these are Chadwick Boseman's shoes as T'Challa. All right. Think of it like this. All right. Chicago Bulls. Who's one of the greatest all-time Chicago Bulls? Huh? Scottie Pippen. Okay? Scottie Pippen. Imagine Derrick Rose being drafted number one by the Chicago Bulls and the pressure, and he look up, he see that number 33 Scottie Pippen jersey with 6 championship rings. Let me I'm messing with y'all. Of course, it's Michael Jordan. I can't even keep a straight face on that, man, for real. But Scottie Pippen was great. Wasn't Jordan? He was great though. But think about Michael, 23 Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. They decided they draft years down the road they draft Derrick Rose. Okay, like Derrick Rose is like 6'2", 6'3". Jordan 6'6". I don't know their shoe size, but they don't wear the same shoe size. Don't wear the same jersey size. Don't wear the same shorts. I mean, don't wear the same. Well, Jordan didn't wear headbands, but the thing about it is, hey man, just because you're not meant to fill somebody else's shoes, guess what? You know why you're not meant to fill somebody else's shoes? Because God has given you your own pair of shoes for you to fill. You understand what I'm saying? Our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ gave you with gifts and tools to be able to apply to be for Derrick Rose to be the franchise player. That's why we see Derrick Rose become the youngest MVP ever. Rookie of the Year, youngest MVP ever. And the thing about it, probably would have made the finals had LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh didn't team up. But guess what? Was giving them that business as well. And had he not gotten hurt, I think they would have I know they would have got the Miami Heat at least 2 out of 4 of those years. They couldn't stop Derrick Rose. Couldn't stop him. The only thing that stopped him is that, unfortunately, like 2K, we can't turn the injuries off. But imagine Derrick Rose saying, man, I refuse. I don't want to get drafted by the Bulls because I don't want to live up to the expectations of like Michael Jordan and all that. Like, he didn't even win a championship. But his jersey is going to get retired. You know how I know? Because they reported it's going to get retired next year. Boom. Boom. Think about, you think about LeBron James. He went to the Lakers, joined the Lakers a year after Kobe retired. Was it a year or maybe 2 years after Kobe retired? So now you got to fill those shoes. You're going to be compared to Kobe, Magic, Shaq, all the other Lakers greats, Worthing, all of them. He went there. Yeah, he won a championship in the bubble. But the thing about it is this. He didn't have to fill any of those dudes' shoes. He had his own shoes. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, and that took, even though he left Cleveland, hey man, that was a risky move. Because you're part of a Laker franchise, they get heavily criticized. So if you thought you got criticized in Cleveland and Miami, oh man, you in LA, you getting all eyes on you every day. Every day. You know what I'm saying? So LeBron James doing that is like, hey, he will never be Kobe. He will never be Shaq. He will never be Magic. He will never be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But guess what? He said, hey, God gave me my own set of shoes to fill, my own set of blessings that I can utilize and be one of the best franchise players in Laker history. Okay? Anthony Davis, he come over there. You part of the Lakers big man now. You're going to be compared to Kareem, to Shaq, to Wilt, okay? To Vladdy. You're going to be compared to them. All right? And guess what? Hey, he got a championship. He's playing phenomenal. Injuries keep getting him, but he's phenomenal. That don't stop him from being great. But if you hate him or love him, he is a great player, okay? So, in the top 75 all time. So, to play the role of T'Challa, listen, you don't have to fill Chadwick Boseman's shoes. You don't. Because the role, T'Challa was created before Chadwick Boseman. So you have a lot of material you can go off of. If you don't read the comics, fine. Okay. Go look at the animated shows that he's in. Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes. Or go look at that, did it come out in 2006? It's an Avengers animated movie. It's a sequel to the first Avengers animated movie. That came out like in 2005, I think. Hey, I mean, it's a lot of stuff. You know, you can look at that, the BET back in 2011. They had a Black Panther animated series, okay? Real good. It's dope, man. Jamson Himsu, he played the role of T'Challa. Kerry Washington was Shuri. Jill Scott was the voice of Storm. Who else was in there? Taye Diggs was King T'Chaka. Was he King T'Chaka? He was... I think he was King T'Chaka, and I gotta go back and see. But they had X-Men in there, Captain America, real good. It's like 8 episodes or 10, real good. You can watch it for free on YouTube or whatever. I guess it's free, but man, it's not about filling nobody else's shoes. So people who say, well, if your only argument on why they shouldn't recast T'Challa, nobody else can fill Chadwick Boseman's shoes. Okay. Duh. I mean, come on now. What are we talking about? We're not saying. Hey, I tell you what. If Black Panther was a live Broadway stage play, you mean to tell me had Chadwick Boseman passed while being the star of the Broadway live action play, they're going to stop it right there? That's the end of it? No. You know why? Because they always have an understudy. At least maybe 2 or 3 understudies, just in case somebody's sick, something happens or whatever. Okay? Now, you may not like the person coming in feeling that's going to be doing that role. That's one thing. That doesn't mean that person is not capable. You know? So, okay, man, you got to do that. You got to recast the role. And we're talking about T'Challa, son of T'Chaka. We're not talking about Toussaint or T'Challa Jr. No, we're not talking about him. And for those of you saying, so what do you do with that character? I don't care what they do with that character. You know what? I tell you what, I care. Like, here's what you can do. Hey, the character, the boy, the child is a scroll. He got scrolled. His mama is the scroll queen Varanki. Okay? So she created a scroll kid right there. All right? So that's not T'Challa's son. Cool. End of it. Oh, well, how do you explain, how do you, T'Challa died. So how do you explain his death, him coming back? Shoot, Wanda died. She died. Other people died. You know what I'm saying? Wolverine died. In Logan. Professor Xavier died. Come on now. What? Tony Stark died. He eventually gonna come back. Captain America is 177 years old. But guess what? We're gonna have prime Captain America back somehow. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Or you can rewind time. Go back in time like Back to the Future. Okay? Or like Avengers Endgame. Go back. Let's go back. Gamora died. We got a Gamora. Not the same Gamora. Okay, fine. Whatever. But guess what? I'm going to ask you something. For those who you say T'Challa died, where's the body? You remember in The Dark Knight Rises when the dude told Bane, okay, yeah, we got him. He's dead. And he said, where's the body? Where's the body? Well, the casket was there. Where's the body in the casket? Okay? Or we can say, well, T'Challa got scrolled. That T'Challa that died got scrolled. Okay? The real T'Challa, at the end of Secret Invasion, is in one of those pods or whatever it is, hooked up. They're just like how Rhodey was. Sorry, spoiler alert. But come on, people. Just because a couple people don't want to play T'Challa, that don't mean there's not going to be a T'Challa. You know what I'm saying? Think about Aldous Hodge, John David Washington, Charles Michael Davis. I say Charles Michael Davis. I mentioned him in a comment before or somewhere a couple years ago. That dude there, he played Marcel in the originals. Check that show out. Brilliant show. And the guy who plays Niklaus, man, that dude there, I felt like he would have been an awesome Doctor Doom, to be honest with you. He's a brilliant actor. Shoot, that dude could play Magneto. You could, man, put him in the MCU somehow, some way. But John Campea had mentioned Charles Michael Davis as in his top 5. And I agree with him. That dude there's a brilliant actor. I think I said it in a video. I'm going to have to rewatch some of my videos and stuff. But, yeah, man, we want T'Challa. We don't want we want T'Challa, son of T'Chaka, not T'Challa, T'Challa Jr., son of T'Challa. Now, what you can do is you recast T'Challa and you let T'Challa, you allow him to be involved in T'Challa Jr.'s life. You can do that. And what you can do is you can be like, okay, well, T'Challa Jr. is not a Skrull baby, but his mama got scrolled. And the thing about it is that T'Challa, he went to go save his son. You know what I'm saying? You can make up all sorts of things, man. He got sent inside of space or whatever, man. Like, come on now. Superman died and came back the next doggone movie. Like, what is it? Megatron always dying, but he comes back. So miss me with all that. Well, T'Challa's dead. Chadwick Boseman was not T'Challa. I know it seems so real. He played the role so well that to the fact that, no, not well. He played the role so So good that it seemed like he was the real T'Challa. I mean, he did his job. All right. His brother, Derek Boseman, he said he believed his brother would want the role recast. Chadwick Boseman actually said in interviews, go look it up. He said that, hey man, I wouldn't want this role to stop and end with me. Okay? I want to be able to create more opportunities for others to be able to play this role and other roles like this. So when you say Chadwick will want this, Chadwick want that, listen, I don't think y'all know him more than his own brother. I don't think y'all know Chadwick Boseman more than his own self. So if you think they shouldn't recast it, well, that's your own thoughts. It's not, oh, the family would say this or Chadwick would say this. No. Go Google that. Okay? Go Google that. I ain't making this up. I know I should probably drop the link for you, but then I'm doing the research for you. I'm not doing no research for you. If you want to stay on the island of where you at and you think that's right and there's no evidence to prove you wrong, well, guess what? You're not going to go seek out any other information or research because you're going to be like, well, when you see that stuff, you're going to have to change your mind. Or if you stay on the island you're on with that after new information that's proven that you're wrong, then you're going to be like, no, I'm not going to do that. I got no problem being wrong. I'm wrong most of the time. You can ask my wife, man. I am wrong 94% of the time. But that 6% when I'm right, oh, man, I'm like a genius in that 6%, yo. But yeah, man, they got it. You got to recast the role, man. We want to see T'Challa. You're doing Avengers Secret Wars. T'Challa plays a huge role in that. Bring T'Challa back. We want T'Challa. Y'all multiverse and stuff and all that. I did a video years ago where a couple years ago where I said eventually they're gonna do this just like how they did the Arrowverse, Crisis on Infinite Earths, where their main Earth was called Earth One, and then you had all these other Earths and all that stuff, and then you had characters, heroes and villains and civilians that lived in other Earths where there was incursions and their Earth got destroyed, but then other variants came to Earth One, and whenever those other Earths and those characters came to Earth One, they changed the name of Earth One to Earth Prime. I remember Nate Moore, he said that we're no longer going to see T'Challa in the MCU. You know what's wild? As soon as that happened, when Van Lathan on his podcast, when he said that on Twitter, I had commented and I said, oh, so we're not going to get him in the 616 because the 616 is going to be called something else due to the whole multiverse. It got a lot of traction and stuff, and I can't find it. I should have pinned it. I didn't know better to pin it back then. But Van Lathan, hey man, I can you see if that didn't? I hope it didn't get deleted. But Student Nutty Game Podcast, that's my Twitter handle. But on that, I said that, and they got a lot of traction. I think Van Lathan had reposted it or he had love on it, one of them. But that tweet there, I got the most traction I ever got on that. Man. But that's what I think eventually is gonna happen. But, and you saw that on the Flash and all that stuff. So, you got variants from all over the place and then they end up playing a big part of the whole universe and all that stuff. I did see a video that said that Aldis Hodge should say no to playing Black Panther because they would only have him play it just for a couple movies. Now, my thing is, if it's for T'Challa Jr., yeah, all respectfully, yeah, I'm down with Aldis Hodge turning it down. Because when you have a whole lot of actors turning the role of T'Challa Jr. down, and then there's no actual T'Challa, son of T'Chaka, okay, King T'Chaka, okay, so it's like we want T'Challa, son of King T'Chaka, all right? But the thing about it is though, what I did disagree on the video that the young man was saying is that I'm saying young man, shoot, he might be older than me, maybe not, but hey, he sound pretty young. I'm gonna say young man, whether if you're older than me or younger than me or not. If you're older than me, I don't mean no disrespect, but I'm just saying what the gentleman said is that he think that will take away from him playing Alex Cross, and I disagree with that because Robert Downey Jr., this man here, hey. While he's Tony Stark, he was still did multiple sequels for the movie for Sherlock Holmes. Big time prominent character. All right. And he also played Dr. Doolittle, even though that didn't do much. But hey, he played that. So, and also with those streaming series, hey man, we might not get a season 2 for Cross till like almost 2 years from now, man, because it be like that sometime, you know. But so it is what it is on that. But also, who else? Who else? Somebody in the comments, they mentioned other people who was able to do multiple things. I mean, but oh man, hey, Josh Brolin was Cable and Thanos. And I'm gonna tell you something. If Aldous Hodge, now if they say Aldous Hodge, we're only gonna have you do 2 movies. We're gonna start you off with 2 movies as T'Challa, son of T'Chaka, King T'Chaka. I think you take that. Because you want to see how the response goes. And if he killed the role, people are going to want more. They're going to want more. So, because pretty much, I said this during my review of Black Adam 2 years ago, almost 2.5 years ago. His role as Hawkman was pretty much looked like an audition for King T'Challa. I said that. I don't know if I was the first person. I was one of the first people to say that. Just the thing about it is a lot of people, they don't come to my videos like that. But it's like, hey, one day they will. You will. But also, when people say, when the next time somebody tell you, oh, these actors here turned down the role of T'Challa because they're trying to prove a point, just do this. Just say, hey, just say Cary Grant, Rod Taylor, Clint Eastwood, Adam West, Burt Reynolds, Liam Neeson, Hugh Jackman, Michael Gambon, Noel Coward. Like these actors, what is Noel Coward? Yeah, these actors. Guess what? They all turned down the role to play James Bond. Huh. So anytime somebody say, oh, they list a bunch of some actors who turned the role of T'Challa down, you counter it with, hey, Clint Eastwood, Adam West, Burt Reynolds, Liam Neeson, Hugh Jackman. That will end that conversation right there. Unless they somebody who just, one of those people who they feel like they won an argument or a debate just because they got the last word. No, it's all about who got the last important word. And since that's my last word of the day on this right here, I want to tell y'all, listen, thank you for tuning in. Like, seriously, this video, I was trying to do this video in 5 minutes, believe it or not, but it looks like it's going to 22 on 23, probably going to be about 24, 25-minute video. If you stayed and listened to this whole video, whether if you watch it through the whole thing and listen to the whole thing, or you pause in intervals, and I just want to say thank you very much for taking time out of your busy day to give my little old podcast a listen. I greatly appreciate it, all right? I know y'all busy just like I'm busy, you know what I'm saying? But I want to tell y'all, hey, you like movies and you like sports? That means we got 2 things in common. I can talk about those things all day, all week, all month, all year, all decade, shoot, entire lifespan, all right? So that's what you're going to get from me. But if you like movies and you like sports, hey, give my podcast a listen. We may disagree on some things, that's fine. But I'm not going to disrespect you. You don't disrespect me. Even if you disrespect me, I'm not going to disrespect you. Because guess what? Jesus Christ, my Lord Savior, hey, he fight my battles. Vengeance is his. Okay? So, I mean, I may not witness the get back, but I know the get back is going to come. Because I trust Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. But anyways, hit the like and subscribe button. Please do. It's free of charge. And thank you all for tuning in. Student of the Game Podcast. Peace